I feel like at the beginning, before DPC, RSG, they have been playing in some third-party tournaments and they have been pulling out the excellent Pangolier for
10
quite
Okay.
some time.
seconds
Okay.
remaining.
So it feels like it is a hero that they are actively looking to add
5
into
seconds
excellence hero
remaining.
pool,
Okay.
because we all know that excellence hero pool is not that huge, but
Dire
whatever heroes that
team
is in the pool, he plays it so freaking well. And I feel like Pangolier is going into that tier list, and you can see the teams are respecting it, especially alongside the Phoenix as well. It took some time for TNC to think about it, but eventually they still removed it.
Does another hero
10
for excellent
seconds
is the
remaining.
Storm Spirit? So do you think the Pugner is almost like a block pick in a way?
5 seconds remaining.
It could be. Actually, I think Pogna Storm Spirit, it goes both way though.
Okay.
Because yeah, sometimes if you're able to catch the Pogna first, Storm Spirit can easily just kill you. So it's all about whether or not you can put down the Netherworld before the fight or before Storm finds you.
Okay.
But then again, obviously, it really goes both way. Let's see though if they want to pick up a Storm here. They do have the 18th and 24th pick if they want to. So if they want to, it is going to be safer for them to pick it.
So I think one big thing from me to take away from game one is just RSG had overwhelming amount of team fight. I think at least 4 of their heroes had team fight. You can even put Ember in because it's just so good at team fighting. And TNC, they didn't have as much. And already their first 2 picks are a little bit less reliant on team fight compared to
Dire team
RSG with Sand King, with Death Prophet. So is this something that TNC have to keep in the back of their mind now with their draft?
100%. I think you absolutely got to bring out a very important point here is that Pogna Tiny is a lot of enabling. Like Tiny is a hero that can flash from,
10
can hit
seconds
tower, but he
remaining.
needs someone to enable him in the sense that giving him some kind of
5 seconds
initiation,
remaining.
be heroes that can actually actively look for kills so that Tiny can come in and clean up. Heroes like the Kunka, heroes like a Storm Spirit, any kind of spirits basically. So last game they went for Tiny Doom Lina, right? Very individualistic kind of hero. And this game, I wish to see something different coming out from TNC. And RSG so far, like you said, Sanking DP, they cover so many boxes, I would say. Like it's so easy to pick heroes into this opening because you basically have no weakness right now. Anything you add on top of
Radiant
Sanking and DP
team pick.
is going to be a bonus for you. And they're going to go for AA against the Pona Tiny, so switching a little things up
Radiant
here.
team pick. Dire team
Hey, there's your
pick.
team fight. Where's your initiation?
Ooh.
Like and Tiny. Oh no. How
Dirty gamers.
grave. Oh no.
Okay. Now we talk about X Factor against a team that is currently having a better form than you. And Tiny
10
Lycan is definitely the
seconds
best one. We have
remaining.
been seeing this ever since TI 10, and it is still
5
famous for some
seconds
reason.
remaining.
And they're gonna put this out. And it's really good against AA too. Like Lycan is one of the best hero against AA. This is gonna be a very tough game for Roger to play.
Yeah, so I'm still seeing China play this combo, but no one else I'm really seeing run the Likey Tynum, which I'm quite surprised because Tiny's strong. Lycan did get nerfed a little bit. I think what I'm hearing the Wolves was
Radiant
a
team
big factor to why we're not seeing him as much, but big fan of this. Big fan. Medusa is one of the best ways. One, your quarter-core matchup versus Tiny. You brought up last game. Scardy's a great way to deal with him. And now you can just stand your ground against the Lycan, act as like this kind of almost wall in a way where you
10
one can deal with
seconds
summons,
remaining.
but you can also pop Stone Gaze and just protect your supports.
5
Yeah,
seconds remaining.
like when we are going up against the Tiny Lycan, I think we all remember the grand final game 5 between in TI10 between Team Spirit and PSG LGD. They went for the Terror Blade to go up against the Tiny Lycan. It's the same concept here. You want a Skadi here that can kind of be the wall for your entire team, so that the entire team can kind of play it as a ball. So when you're playing as a ball, you don't care about the Lycan flanking you at the side. You don't really care about the Tiny whacking you at the front, because all you have to do is just to make sure
Dire
that
team
Medusa
back.
doesn't die, stun the heroes that are near Medusa, drop the Ice Blast against them, and you should be able to have a pretty strong formational fight, especially with the DP as well. So I feel like this Medusa pick is a brilliant
Radiant
pick,
team
and TNC
back.
Predator may be forgetting about this TP/Dusa hero while thinking about the Tiny Lycan.
Are the ways they can answer with the Deucer though, with their 23rd pick on TNC?
Dire
What
team
is the
back.
hero left though on the mid lane? Like you probably don't want to put Tiny on the mid here against a lineup that RG has. You definitely have the choice to do it, to maybe go for anti-mage last pick here. But then again though, RSG they still have the last ban. and I want to see if if they're gonna respect that
Radiant
possibility.
team
No,
pick.
they're gonna ban out the Barrier. So anti-mage could still be the pick here from TNC.
I'm still
Dire
waiting to see
team
position 2 anti-mage as well.
Void
I'm still waiting for it. We're not going to get it. Void Spirit picked up here for your way.
Yeah, they're not gonna go greedy. They know that last game the weakness is they didn't have a mid player to set it up. So this time around, when you have Tiny Lycan, you absolutely want a hero that can make
10
moves.
seconds
So Void
remaining.
Spirit comes to mind. Then again though, blind picking Void Spirit
5
could be
seconds
a little
remaining.
bit scary sometimes, because if the Void Spirit get demolished in the lane, the game is gonna look pretty tough for TNC, knowing that Void Spirit is the only playmaker here.
You may now select
Did you
your
hear me?
heroes.
Did it come through? It's alright. Chat, if you're able to read my lips, Puck was said. Oh, I'm claiming that one. Let's go. Alright, I'm a big fan. I was like, do they storm? Let's see. We brought it up earlier. It's a good matchup versus the Void Spirit, but it doesn't really do much to prevent this Lycan Tiny. They don't have stuns. What are you going? You also have a Puck potential with lack of stuns. He can hold back the Lycan Tiny. Great way to jump the backline, which Medusa really needs. This hero is often paired with spirits, and there's always the threat of like a Ricky, just because that factor, and that's where Exilon can come into play with this Puck. I really like this because not only now can you help the Medusa, but you can set up for the Sand King, you can set up for the AA, and another team fighting hero.
And I would even argue that Puck might be Excellence #1 here as well.
Ooh.
So this is looking like a pretty sick Puck game. You only have like 2 reliable stuns for the Puck, and when you're playing against the Puck specialist, you give him a game that is slightly free, he's gonna abuse that. So I feel like Excellent might be able to do so. But most importantly, it really sums up the draft for RSG here. We talk about how they want to play like a ball. Formational team fight, Puck is the best player or hero to enable that. So all RSG need to do right now is just to wait for TNC to run into them, and they all press their spells correctly, and they will eventually have a very good outlook of the team fight. And if you don't do that, Medusa is gonna outfarm the Tiny and eventually carry the game. So I feel like this Puck pick and the Medusa pick put a very huge timer on TNC, and they absolutely need to abuse their tiny plus tiny, their Lycan plus tiny strategy and end the game maybe somewhere around 25 to 30 minutes. If they are unable to do so, this game is looking super positive for Medusa to carry.
All right, so all eyes once again on TNC. They can push the tempo, try and end this as early as possible. But Arthur, can they do that? Can they do that? Or are we feeling like RSG have what it takes to get this to the stage where Dusa can just do Dusa things?
I feel like for TNC right now, it's probably a question that they don't want to ask themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like this is where you want to say, all right, whether or not you believe it, you need to believe that your draft is gonna work, and you need to play like it as well. Oh, we are seeing the question mark
30
here coming up
seconds to
from
battle.
Young God, but he follows up with a laugh. Right? I thought there were gonna be some bad blood there, but these 2 players, they are pretty chill. They are really funny players too. Like especially Xiao Yu, he is always a hero that is, a player that loves to laugh. I think Young God gives me the same vibe as well.
All right, it's gonna be interesting. You're really getting to the stage where TNC, you have to start building up some momentum for yourself, because you are 1-3, and if you lose this next series, then you're really at the threat of people starting to talk about your potential elimination, not from Division 2 and then having to go through open qualifiers. And something that the storyline has always been so far is, I really feel like Southeast Asia can have their own Division 3. They are just so deep in talent, and we saw that in the open qualifiers. The likes of Yangon Galacticos didn't make it, MY didn't make it, Death Stack didn't make it, and that's just a couple. There's so many more teams. There were like 7 teams that I'm like, hang on a second. They're crazy caliber of players on there.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like before DPC started, before Open Qualifier started, right, everyone is talking about the likes of Talent, Motivate Trust, Laygun. These are all teams that share the same possibility of getting back to Division 1. Who even thought that RSG is gonna be the big X factor here that stopped everybody's hope? And they're looking so unbeatable as well. It feels like RSG comes in, suddenly become the final boss of all of this middle pack team. And it's crazy to see, man. this untapped potential and talent coming out from Southeast Asia.
So I really feel like TNC can still take this game. I know you were mentioning about kind of the 35, was it 35 or 30 minutes you said?
I think 25 to 30 minutes is looking to be the best timing.
So for me, what I'm looking at is I have seen Tiny still beat the Deucer in a quarter call matchup, which I think it more heavily relies on your supports and your other heroes really to enable. And I think for Young God, you have the best enabler with the Lycan. You know, we've seen the likes of Invoker at Gamers Galaxy. We've seen the Ogre, the Io as well. I really think the Lycan is something that people have forgotten how stupid this combo is. But top lane, Roger might actually go down. Spirit Siphon giving him a little bit of health back. So speaking about that though, you are into some pretty tricky matchups with the percent damage from the Spirit Siphon, the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, which is a great way to deal with him. So all my eyes are on BKB and how much Tiny can do throughout that BKB timing. I think you have to get 2 kills throughout it. If you don't, then RSG should be fine in fights.
Yeah, I agree with your point. I think simply put, TNC, they have to outplay RSG in the team fight. It's just as simple as that. Then they need to do so, but you know, it's easier said than done. Because RSG, I still think their heroes are just so easy to execute. But then again, though, I'm definitely on your side. I'm not counting out the Medusa. Medusa is not like a completely free Medusa game as well. Because I do believe Snapfire has always been a very solid
Roger
support.
might go down. Oh, the movement speed for the Death Prophet is not enough as MKS too late to the party. And Bok will find our first blood of game 2.
That is a good start. Like, if you're able to enable Bok, he's definitely able to run away with this game because top lane is quite a free farm for Lycan and also for Medusa. Even though Medusa is struggling a little bit in CS right now, but eventually this is gonna be a pretty much trade farm lane. So I think it's about who is able to get more coming out from this lane. And if you look at Carlo, he's constantly looking for kills right now, playing with the Wolf. And this is something that we see Leader Gun do a lot as well. Just cooking the Wolf or having Grim Shoot the Ink Swap, the Wolf as well. Very good synergy.
Yo, wait. If Excellent lands the orb, he's not going to try and make the attempt though. Wait. I don't know if he can get these creeps onto tower. Scyllane's going to continue to put some pressure on. Raindrops at least mitigating some of the damage. Oh, nice glyph though from Excellent.
You know that Excellent is going to push for this, man. He always goes for kills.
They're trying to TP in. Now just having the extra level. Be able to dodge out the orb, so he's going to be okay.
Oh no, that Svebi needs to come in for the south because the 2 runes are controlled by the Park and also Xiaobanbon. So very good stuff coming out from Bombi so far. Also, we haven't talked too much, right? This is a position for AA.
That's something I did want to mention in the draft is I was like, if they run AA Deucer in the same lane, that feels really, really bad. You want to put the AA with the stunning hero, so I like that they've moved the bottom to play with the Sand King.
And the thing about AA plus DP is like, we always have DP to take over the farming role. So AA happily relegating himself to a position 5 role, and this is the original role of Bombi anyways. So this is one strength that I feel like we don't often talk enough about RSG is the flexibility coming out from the 2 supports. And Roger, he's a player that plays a bunch of core roles in his pops as well. So he definitely knows how to scale.
But it's again we're seeing all the side lanes really get whatever they would like out of it. Oh, hang on that. Yeah, you might be in trouble bottom lane. Febby and Young Gods gonna drop the combo here to bring down the Sand King, although he can cut through the trees. They're relying on the right clicks now until Febby has his Nether Blast back and available as top lane. MKS is in trouble too. Beautiful micro from Bok. Blocks out the tree line as an avenue to escape as TNC find their 3rd kill of the game.
Fantastic start here coming from TNC. They recognize the A is not around the bottom side, so they went for an attempt on the SK, managed to run him down. And I feel like they need to do more of this thing because for RSG side, they are only looking for stabilization so far. As long as you don't lose out, as long as this game is peaceful and quiet, they are happy about it. So it's on TNC's shoulders to shake something up, and so far they are managing to do so. They have to keep pushing.
We're also seeing just... Oh, Febi's even going to try and... I don't know if you can take that stack with level 2 and Nether Blast, but we're seeing the emphasis they're actually putting on mid lane now compared to last game. Like, Silon got a majority of the water runes, along with... Oh, Yowie? Just off the mark. It was great reactions from Silon to be able to dodge the combo. Now back to top is MKS. Low on health. His mana still at a decent stage thanks to the Mystic Snake providing that. But Bok having the level 6 is trying to block him out with the Iron Branch, but it doesn't matter. The Wolf sneaks on through, and now he's going to sneak under the tower to try and get the life of Roger. This one's a little bit too difficult though with TNC and their health pool, so they're happy with getting a second kill onto the Medusa.
4-0 start, man. I was wrong. I thought this little top lane is gonna be peaceful, but Bok and Carlo did a very good job pushing Medusa out of their comfortable zone. So very good stuff coming out from him. And DP, you know, she normally is a very strong hero, but going up against the Lycan with the Wolf and also Snap Fairy with a lot of burst damage, all of a sudden not the best position 5 heroes to protect Medusa really. So Medusa kind of have to play for recovery right now. And this is definitely a very good beginning for TNC. And like I said, they have to keep pushing this though. They have all the ability to do so. They have great tower pusher as well with Tiny and also Lycan. So it's all about keeping this pressure onto RSG.
Silon? Okay. So one thing I do want to mention is that the Void Spirit has a pretty decent matchup in a puck. It can go back and forth. Both heroes have control. And we see the Void Spirit, pretty much the only time you go Your Scepter now is when you're up against the puck. Just shields up in the air, Remnant down, an easy way to set up. And often that's all you need. All you need is that one stun, and then the rest of the team can follow up and provide any extra.
Yeah, absolutely. You can use it in the pretty good defensive way as well, right? To dispel the silence coming out from puck and also DP. So definitely an item that will give you the max usage here. And What Spirit... Yowie being a very experienced What Spirit player definitely knows about that. It's still a pretty quiet game so far though from RSG.
Once again,
Excellent.
He might drop the coil for this. He'd love to not have to use it. But the decrep getting dropped down. Silon is going to expend the ultimate to get the kill. They are starting to sneak to the jungle. Yowie playing with the invis, but Dire have the recognition of his position. Yowe's still going to look to pounce, but the cold feet holding him back, so MKS just survives on a slither of health, and Yowe will be penalized. Can the Helm Dump do enough damage? So MKS cutting through the trees, ring around the rosy, no way! Oh, the summons do the dirty work, and in the end, a 1-for-1, but the third death for the Medusa.
Oh, the pineapple man. Man, should run him down. But this is the intensity coming from RSG and also from TNC as well. We are seeing RSG bring all 5 heroes towards the top lane to protect the Medusa.
Wait, there's no way Xiao Bonbon dies. Someone help him! What is this? Dude, what is this Warpine Raider?
Do you know what happened? Lycan actually popped the ship shift.
Oh.
That's why they're getting the extra crit and also movement speed.
They're getting another kill almost out of it. It's just Yowie and Carlo, but wow, TNC, they were not phased at all by giving up that game 1 off the back of the lead they had. They've come into game 2, all guns are blazing.
It feels like TNC came in angrily, man. Or mid lane though, excellent. Trying to make a move on Fabi, but Fabi was playing very cautiously there.
And bottom lane,
man, this is
Young God's gonna get a solo kill. So Arthur, this continues to go exceptionally well, and you were saying that TNC had to hit their timing and stride, and with this start, it looks like that might be the case.
Yeah, seems like they have found the momentum for themselves. It's really hard because in game 1, oh hold on though, cause excellent. We'll be able to get out. But in game 1, they lost in such a tough way, right? So to be able to come back to this game with such a strong performance is amazing.
Silon is using coil to get the rune, and he might still die off the back of this anyway. A phase shift at the last second, but it's not going to matter. This is a huge change in strategy from TNC. Game 1, we saw just no rotations from Carlo and from Febi to secure the water runes and secure the power runes. This was 2 runes in a row prior to that rune that Silen just picked up that went the way of Your Way. And now that 1 rune that Silen got, it cost him his life going for it. So we're just seeing the adaptation from them and not giving these free runes over to the park.
Oh, look at Bok. He might get punished here.
He should end up dying. This is a huge streak as well. If you can give the gold over to Xiao Yu, well, it's actually Xiao Bonbon to claim it, but the reinforcements, they're showing up to try and get some revenge as Your Way jumping on forward as Roger. Oh, they miss on the burrow. So Your Way can continue the chase and Astral Step back and available. The death mark signals Roger to be sent back in a body bag.
I mean, still though, you're losing Bok to get 2 support kills. I think both sides are probably happy about this.
They're going for it. Okay. Well, make amends for the miss in the burrow prior from landing it onto 2. They're splitting their damage to the Pugna. Now to Your Way they go. Silen be able to catch up to Your Way. So they get the kill on Febby nonetheless.
Yeah, all TNC wanted to do was to capture this side of the map, making sure that there's very limited farm for RSG to find, but RSG responding very strongly, understanding that they can't allow to let TNC get control of the part of the NC, because that will just make their map so small. So they fight back with numbers, and they were able to kick TNC out for a little bit here. But if you just look at the micro coming out of Bok though, he's using the wolf to block the ancient camp. And he's able to do it from controlling that. So very well done coming out from Bok so far. This entire game feels like Bok has exceptional impact compared to game 1.
Is under attack.
With all this space that we're getting out of the map, Young God continuing to find all his farm he would desire. 100 lost, it's top of the net worth.
Tower is under attack.
Is about to get a tower, although they actually want to TP down. So without the blink from Xiao Yu, so no way to really gap close onto the Tiny, but he's been playing super aggressively. While those fights were going on in the jungle, I saw him just moving into Dai's triangle, just taking farm away from the Medusa.
Yeah, Young Guo is playing this very well. Normally you will see, Tiny wanting to go back to the triangle to farm himself, but he understands that while everyone is playing at the top side, bottom is complete freedom for him, and he doesn't want to let it go. And he's also bring a lot of tower pressure already. Look at the tier 1 tower at the bottom side. It's just like 3 hits away, and Young Guo is gonna go for it. Everyone else is behind though.
They are mass TPing down for the Tiny. That is a ambitious attempt. You're top of the net worth. And now you're giving it some net worth. Wait, okay, they get the kill. They gotta get to mid though, Arthur. Look at this. Yeah, instant smoke.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Xiao Yu under a sentry. It's not the easiest kill with the hood. He's gonna look to pop and try and escape from the Mortimer Kisses, but now that Dire have shown up, they're gonna land the coil, chasing back the wolf, but the coil will not last for long. So Bok should be able to escape Roger. Meanwhile, everyone else will be at the cost. The north they go as Your Way just runs straight into Exilern, but doesn't have the damage just by himself from the Void Spirit. Is going to be relying on any extra follow-up, but TNC a little bit hesitant to join Void Spirit in this attempt.
That was still an okay defense coming from RSG, but for TNC, they definitely found a very big kill here. Sand King is looking towards to get his Blink Dagger, and any kills before that is gonna be really good for TNC. So it means that they can keep up the aggression for a little bit more. And Xiao Yu, TPing to the top lane, instantly getting his dagger. He knows how important this dagger is to his team. And now that he has it, the dynamic kind of changed a little bit because TNC has been running in ruthlessly. Now you need to reconsider how you are running in.
I thought we got to speak a little bit about this item build on Lycan. He's gone Orchid first into BKB next. No Helm of the Overlord, no even Ags queued up as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I like this though. He understands that there's no Dispel coming from Park. And, Oki generally is very good against Sand King too, so...
Jump in, Xiao Yu reveals the blink. They need the follow-up control. The coil able to provide that. He was dodging a lot of the damage, so Sand King's going to be forced to use the epicenter just to secure the kill onto Your Way. But another successful reel the blink. Back-to-back games for Xiao Yu.
I mean, the use, man, it helps you, get rid of the first Ice Blood, but there's always the secondary silence coming from DP, so something that is gonna be a challenge for Void Spirit to play around with the entire game. So I feel like BKB might need to be the third item after the Aghanim's here coming out from Your Way, just for him to survive of all this insane amount of magical damage. And the X factor here, I feel like Carlo has been having a pretty solid game so far. And he's actually able to silently find a lot
Dire's
of
middle
farm.
tower
Look at
is
his item
under
right
attack.
now. He's queuing up the dagger
Dire's
into
structures
X.
are
He might be able to
fortified.
get X first if he wants to do so, because he has the money so far.
Yeah, it seems like the shard. I kind of like the shard before the blink, just for your farm. It helps a lot more with
Radiant are
that.
scanning.
I guess blink though helps with your positioning. Maybe you've got the follow up for the cookie. You can better position yourself for Mortimer kisses as well.
I mean, in some sense, dagger not only gives you the freedom to play in team fight, it also helps you split push a little bit better. So I guess he's looking for that. Oh, top lane!
Top lane, you're onto the Void Spirit. Jia Yu and Jia Bomba to start, and Ash will step out. Meanwhile, bottom lane, MKS was able to evade the attempt. There was Mortimer Kisses and Shapeshift used to try and chase down the Medusa. So they're going to be eyeing up Roger instead, but just a miss of the Warstorm. It's a bit too hard with the Death Prophet's movement speed, so that's a lot forced out, and RSG continuing to get some space to find their farm.
Oh, I'm
Radiant's
actually very
middle
surprised to
tower
see
is
Bob.
under
Oh,
attack.
your way, going in. Any follow-up?
The cookie. It's still RSG playing behind Seal, and what a borrow, and now the coil follow as once again chaos raining down on TNC all throughout the team fights as RSG just continue their dominance with all of these abilities.
Oh man, like this is exactly why I say once the
Radiant's
dagger is up on
middle
Xiao Yu,
tower is
you
under
need to
attack.
reconsider how you run in, because with the Blink Borrow, he's gonna just change the dynamic of this team fight by himself, and we are starting to see the first of it. Like before the dagger is up on Sand King, it's more like, alright, turn off your brain and run at
Radiant's
them.
middle tower
Now,
has fallen.
you gotta switch it up, and you need to think to yourself, how are you
Radiant's
initiating
bottom
this?
tower has
Because Xiao
fallen.
Yu, he's gonna be there waiting for you to jump in.
Not only do they
Dire's
get two
top
tier
tower
1
is under
towers, but you
attack.
also have MKS now usurping the Lycan in his net worth. You know, this is almost Manta style complete, and MKS 3 deaths early on. It was like 3 deaths, 50 last hits. He's had the past couple of minutes where he's gone untouched, and mid lane Xiao Yu just an epicenter charge up to try and bring down the Pugna. Yoey looking to rectify this with Bok thinking about stepping in, but without the ultimate, which will be back up shortly. Yoey's going to be able to dash on over, pick up the Arcane Rune, and now utilize this if they want to try and continue chasing down the Ancient Apparition. They're very hesitant on even just jumping an AA support. Oh,
Yeah,
Mortimer
that-
kisses
Ooh,
even
Mortimer.
too. He will tick out to this.
So much for that.
I was
bonus
wondering if Bombi
opportunity.
is gonna use the smoke there just to get out of vision. You know, but as an unselfish player he isn't just gonna accept his death. It's okay though. Like he's still picking up a lot of farm here. Has the Bill of Discord, 200 go away from the shard. And now you know what? A Philly Stone found by Medusa. That's the one of the best items for AA. And also you talk about the Medusa earlier, right? It feels like after the 3 death on the top lane, right now Medusa is having a fantastic game. So far I've just been able to silently recover, and he's actually queuing up a Crystallis. So not the Skadi that we always see. Interesting.
Maybe they feel like they're going to be lacking damage with BKBs coming out shortly, because one point I wanted to mention is this Vortex is maxed out with Veil. Dire are going to do a crap load of damage, without a doubt. This is so much magic amp that Radiant just have to get BKBs soon, otherwise we're going to continue to see these team fights going RSG's way if they can utilize their abilities. Xiao Yu looking to counter initiate, but it's going to be Roger to die off first. Now they're on to Exilin as well. No way to get rid of the Orchid, as finally Young God wants to show up to the party, and he's doing so at perfect fashion. But a buyback from Roger, looking to turn this one around, but the Death Prophet only has the Medusa to play with, and there's nothing that MKS can really do at this stage of the game. A dieback for Roger, and now the Medusa's next on the agenda. They're going to be cautious about all the split damage, but once they toss her up into the air and control her perfectly, they can kill her off and make it into a wipe.
Well, that was all on the back of this very aggressive ops, man. Look at that heal ops there. It enabled them so much to take this team fight. It gave them all the information that they needed, and very smartly for them to threaten Roche, force RSG to come here, try to contest, and then make a quick switch to jump on them. Oh, that was very well done, well communicated by TNC, well executed as well. And you know what? With this big team fight, the big items are coming in. The Aghanim's on White Spirit, the BKB on Tiny, they are all flowing in right now. And this is, like you said, very important for them because BKB is going to heavily mitigate
Dire's
basically
top
all the
tower
damage
is under
of
attack.
RSG so far. And if you're able to get the BKB, they could once again just run at them and you'll be able to overwhelm them.
Yeah, it really just was a perfect fight though for TNC with how Young God was there. Oh, Febby. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well, that'll reveal there's a ward nearby that was able to scout him out. Nice snipe from Xiao Bonbon.
Yeah, extra kill frame. I also want to point out that this itemization from Exilium.
Yeah.
Lotus Orb on Puck. I don't think I've ever seen this before. It's always the Yields or the BKB for the spell. But Lotus Orb, that's cool.
I think the armor is something he really needs this game. Against the Tiny, against the Lycaners. Shapeshift chasing down Roger. Seeing how fast the Death Prophet can just get ripped apart from this combo. Now, up to the north, they go for another supporter. Xiao Bonbon playing around his ward, but TNC, they have their own ways to gain information with the Wolves.
Radiant's
Yeah, that
middle
is
tower
definitely
is
giving a
under
lot of
attack.
value for the heroes right now because your way all he wants to do is to run at them. He needs vision to do so, and Bog is providing all of that. They're gonna go back to the Roshan, just do it safe and steadily. There's no more Ice Blast that you need to worry about, so this Roshan should be an easy burn for him.
Yeah, back on the Lotus Orb, I think it's just, we were saying you kind of needed to dispel this game versus what Radiant had, especially the Orchid pick from box. So now going Lotus provides you that, but armor, because Puck has got one of the worst armors in the game, and that's always been one way you can look to kind of counter this hero. Is Roger again trying to move to the jungle? Maybe they weren't aware that Roche was occurring with how they were posturing across the map.
Yeah, it seems like they. I mean, even if they have had an idea about it, I don't feel like they are looking too comfortable in contesting that because Medusa still needs some big items. She just finished up the Chrysalis. You know, you need the Daedalus or even the Skadi to really be in the fighting shape. So I feel like this is still RSG's time to split push, buy time for the Medusa to come big. And they definitely have a lot of good heroes to do that. You got Puck to do it, you got Sand King to do it. And this is where the biggest challenge is for Roger and Xiao Bonbon to block smokes for their cores.
Yeah, TNC will
Dire's
struggle
top
with
tower
getting
is under
pickoffs
attack.
across the map, especially RSG. Like you said, they're going to play on just splitting up the map, cat and mouse, wasting the ages as best as possible. So this is going to be all on the Void Spirit to kind of catch these heroes out with these shenanigans.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, the mass TP, look at this. I swear this is like
Dire's
classic
top
TNC
tower
move.
is under
They'll
attack.
like to TP to the tier 3 and then smoke from there.
And because they're still hitting the tower, gonna use their first stun, Color with the follow-up as well, and all of a sudden Medusa surrounded in Radiant's jungle. Another kill onto the carry of RSG.
Such a good read. They're feeling it right now. TNC, they have all the power for them to push the tempo, to hunt for kills as well. All they need to do is all about how to hunt more efficiently while not losing too many map control. And look at them, they are instantly after the bottom kill, they are running back to the mid lane to collapse with their teammates. Because you still need to push towers after all. And it seems like they are going to do so.
BKBs, Arthur, that's what we're worried about. You're starting to pick him up. Void Spirit, just the one call without it yet, but you do have one on the Lycan and the Tiny. It's running all the way around. They've got the sentry detection. They might be able to blow up the first life. BKB forced out, but he's going to stand his ground, tossing Yolway further into the middle. Yours providing space. RSG, do they feel like they can take the fight? Medusa's going to respawn in a couple of seconds. They're targeting Yolway down instead without any ultimate charges to retreat away. The Void Spirit will be penalized for this. Sillin, though, still doesn't have the coil. Oh, he's actually going to jump! Sillin's got the Lotus Orb, but a quick toss into the air. He's able to get the phase shift out to safety. Meanwhile, Tiny, he'll lose his first life. How do they set up for the second? Carlo kills off the Puck. Great scatter blast, and he's going to TP out as well, directly in their faces. But this is the Aegis advantage where they don't get a lot out of it.
Feels like it's pretty good, yeah, actually. Even though Puck and Sand King did die, but they managed to defend this tier 2. And most importantly, Medusa didn't die. And she got some pretty good extra cash too, towards her next big item. it was very important for Carlo to went in there to finish off the puck though. Because if the puck didn't die, this is such a big win for RSG. So Carlo played that really well.
They're moving bottom real fast on TNC.
MKS.
He's not ready for it. He doesn't have anyone behind him as well. Carlo pulling forward, it's off the mask with the scatter blast, but he's already used the Manta, so he can't get out of the silence. As Bok claims the kill, dominating now, but they're going to jump in off to the side. Onto the Void Spirit they go. Raspath a little bit too late to land, so you're always still in trouble with the follow-up science, but the rest of TNC, they've had enough time to be able to show up to the area. Jarbonbon chased down, tree toss under the tower. Now they're eyeing up Roger as well, who might not end up falling. The Death Prophet is still speedy, so it looks like he'll make it away.
Oh, this tempo is actually surprising RSG. They kind of lost the fight, and then they regroup and make an instant smoke towards the bottom side to find Dusa, and then they just keep on finding more extra kills. And all of a sudden, they are back to this position again, pushing tier 2s. This time around, without Aegis, but when you took down 3 big heroes from RSG, tier 2 towers is definitely a lot easier for you to do that. I feel like without a Glyph right now, they might even look to touch high ground a little bit.
They won't have
They're not
creeps.
going to do so. Yeah, they don't have creeps.
Roger's going to be really quick with cutting this wave. Carlo's tipping in, and we've seen this Snapfire be the pseudo-initiator with this build. I think he just got vision. Yep, you're always going to be able to follow up. Now, this does pull them across the map, and Dire are instantly moving to their triangle. So it's a lot of space being created by Roger. But Radiant, they have moved away from the area. Trying to play with that observer ward they had by the triangle on RSG, but they didn't catch anyone.
Yeah, but eventually that was still a pretty big punishment kill for them to get DP because she was very close to the BKB, and you don't want to let her get it for free. You definitely want to punish that.
We got the wolf bite. So this is now for the next however long till Puck gets level 25 as mid lane. Yeah, Acceptance onto 2. Carlos still gonna pop to the Ice Blast, but here we go. The Wolf Bite, and they have all the vision they would ever desire. Young God's gonna try and turn to deal with the Sand King instead, but as Stone Gaze setting up for the TP's out is what? They both make it, and excellent as well.
That was so close. I think the Ether Remnant almost hit on the Medusa there while she's tipping out. That was... you can clearly tell the RSG, they are respecting this wolf bite coming from the Lycan. Once they see the 2 wolves running into them, it's a bot mission for them. Just pop the Stone Gaze and everyone just TP out.
So, yeah, the point I was trying to make before that is 25 is the only time you're ever going to prevent the wolf bite from having impact. And if BKBs expire, because I still really believe they have plenty of damage to go through heroes when their BKBs are on cooldown. But I think BKB and wolf bite should be 2 kills instantly.
Yeah, I think you're right. You need to get those heroes down as soon as possible. And you need to hope that there's not a lot of gold that RSG can find on the map right now so they can have gold for buybacks. I think this is really important too. Because TNC they are running the kind of draft that they want to make a move on you and kill you instantly. They can't really afford to make the fights go long. Because RSG, they definitely enjoy these long fights, especially Medusa. Now that Medusa has the Scuddy, and also I love that she went for the +2 seconds Stone Gaze duration. That is really huge.
Big fan.
So that is basically the entire BKB duration of any of the cores coming out from TNC so far.
And we were speaking about in the draft that this Deuce is going to act as a wall in an aspect where you're just looking to try and protect your supports and stop TNC from charging to the middle. And now with that +2 and Stone Gaze, that can enable that just a little bit more.
Absolutely. And this is the most disgusting thing about Medusa, right? Is that it doesn't really matter how your early game went, as long as you're not losing the game at 30 minutes, or I should say losing complete control. It feels like there's always this big winning condition you can rely on, which is what RSG, they're playing towards right now. Look at everyone, they're just hugging Medusa, making sure that if Medusa ever gets caught on, they are behind there for the instant counter initiation. And Medusa is looking pretty tanky right now. Has the Titan Sliver, has Scuddy, 3.5k HP.
Just seeing how much they're getting out of these wolves though. It's something that Dai don't really have a way to get information. Orb, you could say, but it's really nothing like the wolves on the Lycan.
Alright, seems like both teams are, you can tell that this is the calm before the storm. Both teams are pressuring, by them, by 5. TNC is hugging the left side, RSG hugging the right side. No one wants to really go into the enemy territory because they know that the next time they meet each other, it's gonna be a 5-on-5. So both teams are just trying to set up the best condition for themselves.
This is the rush to end the game for TNC. You need a lot of map to play with. Use the shapeshift to use this wolf bite.
Radiant are scared.
You taking a high ground fight is going to be very difficult for them. We can see RSG kill off the first life with ease, and then you don't have as much room. Like running inside Dire's base is going to be very difficult. So we'll see. This is it. They really have to get good usage out of this.
It seems like RSG, they might want to invite a fight.
Dude,
here,
yo, wait,
because
don't
they
do
are
it.
smoking.
Yo, wait, don't step up.
Not quite as slow.
Oh, yes,
He's got A on disc, yeah. Yeah, he's got A on disc. I don't think they get the kill. It's going to look to drop the core, but now with a haste. They've revealed their positioning. Sealant, no! He taunted forward. He actually followed through with the illusory orb, so he's going to end up being penalized for that. Now Youngblood just charging the middle, but he's turned to stone. Keep in mind, he does have the ages advantage as MKS trying to stand his ground, but the stone gaze soon to expire. So this will give an opportunity for them to run into the middle. They've lost block off to the side, but RSG, they're just playing right behind. It's up to the north. Sealant.
What?
Sealant? He bought back. He killed off some other heroes, but... Oh, no. I didn't see him even make that attempt.
I didn't even see that as well. I gotta be honest though, the whole fight I was just looking at the Nether Ward, admiring the beauty of the of that animation. Because I saw RSG, they were kind of getting baited by the Nether Ward. Medusa was going in, hitting the Nether Ward while the others are getting jumped on.
Bottom lane, Youngblood is pouncing instantly on the high gun. They've still got the ages to work with, but MKS's damage is really starting to stack up though. But they're unable to deal with Febby and Carlo. Gobble up, toss in the middle. Even Yolway's going to look to buy back. They've dealt with the first life, but can they claim the second? Youngblood blinks out of the ice path. And now he's going to jet straight onto the Medusa as A able to join all his friends in the grave. As Youngblood secures the fight off the back of a triple.
Man, where was that coming from? Kano just coming in, casually gobbling up the Tiny, and perform that very short distance alley-oop there. That was pretty fun to see. But Kano man, so far has been definitely has been an X factor here for TNC. Oh, the tips, man.
Doesn't
and
forget.
This is where you tip it back, yeah.
Xiaoyu is going to be in trouble. Aggressive blink from Carlo. They're going to buy back though. Tiny still got BKB. So they will kill off the Snapfire, which is pretty important to their control, and especially going Gobble Up can enable the Tiny.
Right, boys, you gotta remember you still have to go to the high ground. You still have to break the tier 3 towers to end the game. And you know what? This game, man, it feels like RSG draft has so many strengths, right? And if you are getting back against the wall, at the end of the day, you could still rely on your amazing high ground defense.
Yep.
With the Medusa and all of the other heroes. But it seems like they want to take a fight here. The line is drawn.
They're just going to TP to bottom tier 2. They do see Yolway farming bottom, but again, he's got the A on this. So this is really not easy at all for them to try and kill off Yolway. So maybe they're going to pivot towards Radiant's Triangle instead. And disadvantage. Feb is going to be the first one they run into. Looks like taking away the Pugner. They won't have to drop the epicenter for this, but now you have to play around with the Medusa. You need to stand behind your carry. There's Youngblood with a Wolf Bite up, but they're able to reset. A 1-for-1 trade, but RSG, they need to evade this fight. They need to get out of the area. MKS tucking his tail. He's gonna turn. He's got Xiaoyu with the counter initiation. There's the MP, the bar shot follow-up. Tiny doesn't have to be KP. He's gonna end up popping. Xiaoyu again, finding combo after combo. And now they're eyeing up Bok. Shapeshift soon to expire. MKS might be in
Medusa?
trouble though. Yowei on the back line. Carlos got the follow-up. Oh, what a play. Yowei clips them out. Now Jean Bonbon dies as well. But the price will be likened to. As in the end, RSG, you lose your carry, but you do show you have what it takes to go up against the wolf-bitten Lycan.
Oh man, that was such a sick counter-initiation coming from Xiaoyu, man. We keep talking about this, right? When you're running into the Sand King draft, you need to consider about this Sand King coming in anytime. And you can't afford to give away such a big connection for the Sand King and also the Ice Blast too. Especially, you keep talking about the importance of this BKB. When they are running in without a BKB, this is where that is the scariest for TNC. They always need to keep this Sand King in mind. But the good thing is they managed to bring down the Medusa. But also on the other side, the good thing about RSG is that they brought down the two biggest heroes that they need to bring down, which are the tower pushers. So if they lose a fight like that and it's a trade, as long as Tiny is out of the pool, as long as Lycan is out of the pool, they're happy about this because the game is stagnant right now. All they want to do is to make this game as stagnant as possible. So maybe Medusa can get to the NLBL status.
Because we both feel like Medusa at that status at the late game should be able to take this game, right? Like Tiny Lycan, this strat falls off.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say so. I think 25 is definitely the biggest timing of the Medusa. So as long as they are able to hold the game towards that moment, I think things are gonna look a lot more positive for them. And that is the timing where Medusa can finally be the great wall of RSG.
And one thing I brought up earlier, Arthur, is the 25 talent on Puck. I think that's the most important thing this game for RSG. I think you have to get this 25 talent for Cillian, and he could then consider going like Refresher or something like that. Of course, he's got Kaya and Sunj queued up at the moment, but I think double BKB Piercing Coil is huge because not only do you have the Stone Gaze that you have to be careful of, which is a way to kite through BKB, but now also you have the coils, and we are mentioning how important Magic Immunity is in a game like this.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like he's in sync with you as well. The moment you mentioned about 25, he's already picking up the Tomb of Knowledge there. So he is 25 right now. This once again, man, this fight is looking so much more complicated than before for TNC. Because their way of fighting this is very direct, right? All they have to do is the collapse of Medusa.
I'll blame
right now
Roger.
with all these spells,
Oh, they're gonna miss on the gobble up, so Roger actually has an opportunity with the BKB. Do they stick around? Roger wants the D-ward. Xiaoyu's baiting, not again, a double burrow. They're gonna be lacking the fall though to kill off Yowei. So now Box gonna attempt the TP in. Tiny's back alive as well. Young God instantly going to the Death Prophet, and now with the Sand King. Oh, they're just trying to make too many cute plays on RSG, and now your high ground soon to be under siege.
oh, they were playing from each other.
Dire's top tower has
They were not
fallen.
connecting their disables and their damage because of wasn't there.
Mortimer kisses? Yowei's like, oh, I'm a bit too hesitant to go under a T4 tower.
That is a zoning Mortimer kisses. So that young girl can get 2 hits on the range max.
You may as well deny the range. It's 19 health. They're gonna wolf bite for this, okay.
Dire's top barracks has
Ooh.
fallen.
No coil. Gobble up in the backline. Yowei's got the start. And now they brought back on Xiaoyu as well. A burrow out. Tiny still playing with the potential BKB if needed, but MKS is actually charging outside the base to try and run into anyone. It's a big success though for TNC.
Alright, chill. Everyone is going to come down. They force the buyback coming from Sand King is good enough. And look at the line coming up from Fabi. They want to get across the triangle. Knowing that someone might be there farming the triangle. And also bottom lane is also coming in.
Radiant are
Look
scanning.
at it, it's pretty easy. Just, control the bottom side, push it towards the tier 2, get the tier 2, and try to have this complete choke on RSG. And so far, look at Elon. Very good heads up play coming out from him. Immediately going down to the bottom lane to push this entire wave out.
Just good old puck things. What a nuisance of a
Radiant's
hero.
bottom tower is under attack.
Fabi's gonna get confirmation. Now he's got Yowei nearby as well. Oh, Cillian's actually gonna show. They shift down to the south. Silen so mobile, but so is Your Way. Whoo! He'll make it.
Yeah, there's a lot of very valuable time bought from brought by Excellent. Let's look at the item progression here from MKS. So she's building into the butterfly, respecting that a lot of DPS damage are coming from this Tiny and also Lycan. So just looking to buff up a little bit of survivability and also getting some extra damage as well coming from butterfly.
Thank you, my beauties.
Oh, it's a quick Roche spawn as well. 30 seconds for our third Roche of the game, and Radiant, they're looking to smoke out to catch RSG off guard, but they're aware of this. Back inside the base they want to go. MK's just bought out for the butterfly too. Gobble up Your Way, run straight to Roger. Gotta be cautious of the coil. They've caught up the Tiny. He's gonna look to break it as MKS tries to get in front, but a great Yor Scepter, sending MKS up into the air. And now RSG, their backline continuing to be crumbled by Bok. Both supports taken care of, but also importantly, their ultimates have been used, so they won't have a way to kite the Tiny now as they're gonna jump.
Carlo?
Xiaoyu starts, Yoe's got the follow-up to try and protect Carlo, but MKS doing so much damage. Young God's got to look to step in the fight, but without the Wolf Bite, we see how difficult it is for Tiny to enter.
Yeah, like you say, they need to make use of the first wave of initiation, go in, instantly kill off the supports. That was what they managed to do in the last fight there. So A and the DP was, they were immediately eliminated from the equation, thanks to the very good alley-oop coming from Carlo. They kind of have to just
Oh,
wait
still any Jordan! He's got MKS behind him. The rest of TNC looking to show up. An early Aeon is forced out from Your Way. Doesn't have any ultimate charges at the moment. With the Ag Shard, he's able to retreat down to the river.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Alright, calm down, both sides. Roshan, very big objective here. It has Refresher up. So either side got the Refresher is gonna be devastating for another side. You got that potential to double BKB come from Tiny.
Oh, they've run into Your Way! Aeon is still on cooldown. You see the lack of control's an issue. It's really just a burrow into the hope of a follow-up silence. Again, double leveler. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, Gaven is like, alright guys, time to end the game, time to spice things up a little bit. Here's the leveler for you to push down.
There's no way MKS does this. There's no way.
This is wild, man.
It's slow. It's
Look at Roger.
mega slow.
Oh no.
Fight out. Roche is low. Young God's gonna try and get information. Smoke's gonna pop. They need the core to try and protect this. Roche is dropping, but Xiaoyu dropped faster. The Sand King is so important for the team fight, but the core breaking, setting up for the Ice Blast. MKS gets the Aegis, the cheese as well. Your Way jumps in. It might cost him his life, however, as Your Way ends up dropping along with the Tiny. How did RSG do this? Once again, a creative way to be able to turn this game back on its head as MKS finds 3. Now Silen buys back as well. They're gonna run to Febby, and I tell you what, a tier 1 does nothing this game to protect you 42 minutes in. So Febby's gonna dive, the 4th casualty. What?
What?
Dude, I don't know.
Make it work. It looks so good for them. Because they managed to
Radiant's
bring
middle
down
tower
Sand King
is
first, and
under
Sand King has
attack.
no buyback. But then, while they're chasing, they broke both of them. They
Radiant's
broke
middle
Coil,
tower
I
has
think.
fallen.
And
Yeah,
Tiny
Coil, yeah.
died from that.
Dire's
And he's no
top
buyback too,
barracks
so...
are under attack.
What? All of a
Radiant's
sudden,
middle tower is
RSG,
under
they
attack.
are on the high ground now.
Dude, Arthur, they got everything. They got Aegis, cheese, and shard. Shard's on Death Robber, the refresher.
Oh, yeah. Alright, DP, do you just want to pop your refresher shot? Go to the high ground right now.
Radiant's middle
He
tower
has to go
is
to
falling.
buy Boost of Travel to connect to his
Radiant's
team
bottom
if he wants to do
tower is
so.
under attack.
He's gonna play safe though, alright. They're gonna play safe. They understands that, guys, we have come back to this situation. We are in kind of a commanding lead right now with such, Aegis and cheese on Medusa. Time to play slow. Because our team fight is still better and the teams are coming back. You may forgive, but you never forget.
Oh no, man. Xiaoyu, he's 3, 8, and 6. He's gonna see a double damage run as well. And they've got, oh no. So he's going to have DD and another item if he wants. He's got 6,200 gold here, Arthur. What's the buy? What's the item?
I mean, I feel like you just buy anything that you can use for the next fight. Anything would be good.
So very early DD popped. Oh, they got an Arcane too.
Oh, this is giving me the flashback of TI10, Team Spirit versus IG. Like the game, they were managed to find this bottle DD and they end the game with this. The Morphling game.
Yep.
This could be it.
Oh my lord. I mean, they're the ones with the probability advantage now. 61%. That one fight. That's a hell of a scan though from Radiant.
I have to say though, Dota Plus tend to have this bias towards Medusa.
That is true.
It's definitely looking very 50-50, I would say.
So, one thing I do want to say is that RSG have looked really solid around their base. This is something we brought up before, is that Radiant, they want the map to play with. You have a Tiny, you have a Lycan. These heroes need room to run around, find different avenues, and to get to the supports. Now that RSG actually have a pep in their stride and thinking they can take a fight outside their base, it will make it much easier for TNC. As we might see this be the case, a gobble up in, Young got to start, Yowei with the follow-up, all eyes on the coil. That's how you can hold back this wolf-bitten Lycan as Young God pounces, brings down the Ancient Apparition, but Dire, they have the outpost if they want to TP back to, but you're kiting the wolf bite. This is exactly what RSG need to do to the backline. They go, Xiao Yu once again is going to be brought down. It's a lot of their control initiation, the Young God jumping Roger, but look at Febby continuing to kite MKS, decrypt after decrypt, but now that it expires, they're on to Lycan. The Skadi, along with the ultimate, Young God's gonna run into another support without the BKB, Young God's in trouble! They instantly turn their attention away towards the Tiny, and now with the coil out, what can the Void Spirit really do? It's gonna be protected from the Aeon Disc. It jumped to the northern side, so he's able to make it out, cutting away the life of Xiao Bon Bon.
Alright. That was a very hype fight, but then Medusa was struggling to kill someone. The slow from Skadi wasn't enough because Sanking is dead. So every single time Sanking is dead, MKS is having a lot of trouble to just targeting someone down. But Roger though, on the other side, is always the one staying alive thanks to the BKB Eon Disc and also Siphon.
Back in they go. They're going to look to target down Roger. Aeon Disc providing space. Coil still on cooldown, but you can't run into MKS. You cannot do it. This Medusa, the raid boss, stands their ground, kills off Carlo, but a buyback into the gobble up. Yowei, an instant silence though. Great timing with the E-Blade, giving him a little bit of survivability to the west and back to the fountain. And out they go. RSG, they're happy with getting more objectives.
So close, man. I swear to God, if Medusa bites something, he would just bought something. the fight would have been so different. He's walking into the fight with 6k gold, and then he's ending the fight with 9k gold. If he would just have one Aghanim's, the voice rate is dead right there.
Silence.
Oh, there's just so many little things that in this fight that is not giving them the edge to end the game.
MKS just got the Scepter Blessing and is looking for the Shard next as well. Is decently slotted, still has items to be able to pop in, but I guess this is really going to be difficult now for Pugner to play with the Decrep. He is a lone top. How do you actually kill the Deucer though? Like, what is the play? Do you just completely avoid her?
I think you might have to, because like Wolf Bite, you often think that is offensive skills, right? What if you use that to kite around the Dusa, go for the other kills, which is something that they've been doing for so far, and they are doing to a very good extent, I think, because they are always eliminating Xiao Yu, and as long as Xiao Yu is dead, you know, it's a lot more easy to kite out the Medusa. I feel like they need to do the same thing, and Sanking understanding that, going for Eon Disc, he understands that he can't detach and just die instantly.
Yeah, because we've seen it's been the supports they're looking to target, and like you said, tanking, because that's a lot of their control. I also want some emphasis on the Puck, because he still is yet to have an Aeon Disc, and we've seen how huge this coil has been.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like there's still so much room to grow for Puck. You can easily pick up the BKB. You can easily pick up the freshest orb to be,
Radiant's top
for example.
tower is
And I
under
think
attack.
this item is gonna change the game. It's gonna change the dynamic.
Radiant's
And he
top
definitely has
tower
to go
has
for
fallen.
it so far. He went for the overwhelming blink, so a little bit more survivability and slow. But yeah, so much
wanna
room,
fight.
so much room to grow.
They want to start the fight, and they're going to do just that. Wolf putting up, gobble up into the middle, but Roger, he can stand his ground, and Tiny's in trouble. A BKB used defensive, but the coil means he can't escape. Youngo tries to get away to the western side, but the Arspice once again ticks him out. And oh, Dire, they have full control of the team fight. Your way, one more ultimate, Boris strike on forward. They're only clipping one. Now with the BKBs once again, as Xiao Yu, has he bitten off a little bit more than he can chew? Buybacks coming to the fray, the Tiny looking to rejoin, but MKS continuing to reign supreme. They've overstepping the boundary, but how can you bring him down as Xiao Yu? A Boris strike putting his body on the line, charging up the epicenter is raiding. They committed into the middle, but maybe they can do it. Maybe they can turn this back on its head. As Dusa falling ever so low, they've got the damage to bring her down, but the cost, is it too grave? 3 are being killed off. Oh my.
Oh, what a fight, man. Young God had to bot back there just to finish off the Medusa, but at the end of the day, it's still a successful fight. You
Radiant's top
finally are
tower
able to
is
bring down the raid boss.
Radiant
And
are
if you're able to
scanning.
do it the first time, the second time is gonna come a little bit easier. But nonetheless, you're able to hold the game, and that's the most important thing TNC is looking for right now. Just don't lose the game right now, and there's always chances and opportunity for you to win the game later on. So first step is done. You gotta come back with some baby steps here, even though that means that you need to expand your buybacks.
Dude, Febby did the most damage in that fight. He did 10.6 thousand damage. That was...
What?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he was just sucking Deuce dry, man. That was all he was doing the whole time. He's 26 now. He's got the Nether Ward talent. Look at him. He's even going for... What is it? Kaya and... Yasha and Kaya? Kaya and Yasha?
Yeah. He's just looking to do more damage. Febby understand that as well. He's starting to become a damage dealer right now. And you know what's funny is that he's still holding the kin optic. It gives you, and it kind of gives you an understanding of how important it is to stay behind, just to have this extra cut range, so that you can be a little bit safer against the heroes that RSG has.
For TNC, Roshan, let's see if they can get to the area. Dusa back alive, bought BKB. Doesn't have enough gold for buyback just yet, but only needs 100. And it looks like they will not have Roshan contested as well. So Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard, and Aghanim's now available.
Who's gonna get an agony?
I think
feel like
Xiao Yu. Yeah, yep.
Xiao Yu might get it.
Roshan has fallen.
Still, dude, no.
Wait,
Isn't Puck's a okay. Well, alright, we'll see. I think this is a horrible Ags, but Sillin is an absolute god, so I will not fault him at all.
yeah, I think it's definitely not that amazing for 4,200 gold, but if you can get it as free, it does give you some value. It gets you to have the potential to push someone out of the coil. That could be a game-winning move. And most importantly, it reveals Invi. So Glimmer Cape and things like that is not gonna be... Okay, never mind, they have no Invis anyway, so... The only Invi is the Shadow Silver Age on Tiny side, so... Yeah, a little bit of value there, but not that awesome, I would say. I think Sand King having that could be a lot better though. I still think so.
And look at this, we've got the Ninja gear on the Ancient Apparition, and he's playing so far behind. He's just making sure he's never in vision, because he's so important to the fight. If you land the Ice Blast onto the Tiny, he will pop once BKB expires.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to land up
they
too
go.
straight, right?
Radiant's top
The
tower
Vortexes
here
are
a little
laid
bit.
down. One of the kisses early on from MKS, trying to burn all their damage with the backstab. Bok and Yelway on the right. Jump Bonbons under vision! Aeon Disc, Latifi get the ultimate off. They're going to toss the Medusa away from the team so we can't protect the supports. But the coil
broke the
breaks
coil.
and Bok, even though he's got BKB, he'll still be killed off. Such an awesome attempt from TNC. They tried to toss MKS away to protect the supports, but it didn't matter in the end as they were able to rekindle their formation and back to the higher ground they go.
Radiant's top barracks are under
Yowei?
Radiant structures are
And this
fortified.
Eon Disc, man, is really screwing up TNC. Like time and time again, they are able to find themselves very in
Radiant's
this nature,
top
but this
barracks
Eon
has
Disc
fallen.
thing
Radiant's top
is
barracks
stopping their
has
momentum so
fallen.
hard. Mega Creep's gonna come.
And the big thing is they don't have the Lycan as well for the Wolf Bite. Like, that's the huge thing. So now YoungGod's got to do it on himself. Maybe Carlo can toss him in the middle. They're starting the fight. Nice defensive gobble up. Sillon's going to look to prevent them from getting back inside the base, and the Ice Blast on the entrance, landing onto 3. You may as well just dive. You're in a position where you can kill them off, take it to the throne. But RSG, they're holding back. Holding back. Patience from them. Objective-based gaming.
Oh no. Back against the wall. They have to do something crazy right now. There's still buyback on your way. Still being patient about it. He bought back.
Under attack.
The back line. Carlo's going to jump in. They're targeting down Roger. A great follow-up. They also kill off Exilin in the meantime as well. Lycan's up with 20 seconds if they can stall this out, but they might not be able to. Roger's back in. Exilin as well with a throne exposed. MKS can stand his ground. One last ditch attempt. They need to continue to control MKS, but the throne, it's too weak. It's too low. All RSG need to do is continue right-clicking the base, and they'll do it. Once again, a 2-0 victory from the undefeated.
What a storyline coming from RSG, man. And not only that, this puts RSG at what, 8-0 right now? Or 10? Wait.
10-0 map count.
10-0.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. That is actually so impressive. And not only that, right? This is a big test for Xiao Yu himself as well, because he was on the opposite squad. And then I think this must be such a big proof to him that he is able to do it. And man, this means so much for RSG, and it means so much for TNC as well, because like we said previously, if they lost this series, they are gonna be at the relegation territory. And this is a very dangerous position to be at.
What do you do? Like, what do you do if you're TNC? Because coming into this season, a lot of people were looking at these additions in Carlo and Bok and saying, these are some veteran players, and this could be what TNC needed. They had Febby before. You didn't have as much experience behind them. Was a lot of young guns, and they really thought that the addition of these two players would be enough for them just to steamroll, maybe not steamroll, but take one of those, promotional slots and then move back to Division 1. But this is the complete opposite. They're now playing really for their DPC lives. They are now 1-4. And we mentioned in that game, we mentioned in this series, but open qualifiers it's an absolute difficult road to go through. I mean, we see one of the open qualified teams, RSG, they're flawless. They are 5-0, and they are almost guaranteed to move on to Division 1. And keep in mind, this was a team in our first interview. They said they just wanted to stick in Division 2. They just wanted to build as a team, get the chemistry, lay the groundwork, and now you are just shy of Division 1 next tour.
Yeah. If this doesn't tell you that Southeast Asia deserve a Division 3, I don't know what is gonna, convince you that. RSG coming from open qualifiers, a team that just formed maybe slightly before open qualifiers, like 1 month in, and they're able to already creating such a big waves here. And for TNC Predator, I feel like in the recent series, you can easily see their constant improvement. Yeah. And in this series, they didn't even play too bad, right? I think they actually show very strong power to punch back. It's just that RSG is just on another level when it comes to team fighting. And this is definitely the one game that TNC is showing the most signs on life. But unfortunately, RSG is just way too good, showing way too tenacity for TNC to eventually climb over. So, I feel bad for TNC, to be very honest.
Same. I mean, this is a huge organization, not just in Dota, but really for Southeast Asia in general. And the position that they're in right now, it's really, really tricky. And we do have an interview. We got the beautiful Xiao Yu is going to be joining us once again. So we'll bring him in and say congratulations. Xiao Yu, hello. Can you hear us?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can. Xiao Yu, man. You guys are... Wow. So we spoke to Exilin. He was the first teammate that we interviewed after your game 1, after your first series victory versus Army Geniuses. and you guys
Yeah?
said that you're just looking to stay in Division 2. And now that you're 5-0, like what is the mentality from you, and what is the mentality of all the team? How are you guys feeling?
Right now we are so happy, and I think we have a really high chance to go upper division. Yeah, our mindset right now is very good and really happy for it.
And this for you as well personally. I mean, this is your ex team. You're versing TNC, some ex players there. We saw some tips going on. Is there any bad blood, or is it just fun and all?
Wait, what does it mean?
You did you feel like you had something to prove this series versing TNC?
Not really.
Really?
Not really. Yeah.
Was you like we saw the tips going back and forth between you and Febby throughout this series? Are you guys? Is it bad blood? Is it just friendly banter?
Yeah, just like friendly. I'm still good friend with them. Yeah.
All right, well,
No
Xiaoyu,
head at all. Yeah.
Xiaoyu, I'm
All right.
joined with Arthur. Arthur, you got any questions?
First of all, congratulations, Xiao Yu, for getting such a big win.
Yeah.
And I know that you guys are in boot camp right now. And previously, when we talked to Mikasa, he told us that Seal is the captain of the team. Now that Seals is not here and he'll be replaced by Roger, what do you feel like is the biggest quality coming out from Roger? Is he the captain for the team right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Roger is a captain for the team. His command, everything is really good. It's like very like very good to us. I mean, I don't know how to say it, like very comfort of the comms.
I see. I mean, Roger coming in as a veteran captain, he has definitely had a lot of experience coming from Team SMG. So I feel like in this very last game, right, because you guys were not having a very good game, it feels like TNC is dominating the early game. Could you share with us how was the communication in the team in that situation? Do you guys always know that with this Medusa, you guys will be able to come back?
We know we can come back, and I think our maybe this game our support heroes are not that good. The Lycan can just chasing us very easy, so they have a really fast tempo. But our hero is like the main tempo is the Sand King, so
Mm-hmm.
I have to like hold on the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this game I didn't do so well and not really fed in the from the landing stage, so it make our early game hard.
I
But
see.
but the Medusa is like even though he's like die a lot, but he's still having a good farm, and we have a really good spell. We can burst the people. Then we know that we can come back.
I see. I mean,
Yeah.
you definitely hold the pressure off very strongly. So my last question is, when you guys are in a very, I would say maybe like a bad situation, who is the one guy that will always come in with PMA or a lot of encouragement, or who's gonna be the one that's gonna lift up the atmosphere for the team?
I think everyone. I mean everyone is like very calm. Like they no stress at all. They know we can win. We are a better team. Yeah.
That's good to know. I
Yeah.
think that's all for my question. Aris, do you have anything to add?
No, that's
Mm,
all for me. Xiaoyu, I just any shout outs you wanna give, or any thank you to the fans, anything like that?
yeah. Thank you for the people who always supporting us. Thank you so much.
Oh, Xiaoyu, it's always a pleasure to be able to watch your games. You guys are in incredible form right now, 5-0, and you almost booked yourself a ticket to Division One next season. So I'm exceptionally excited for you and the lads. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye
and
bye.
congrats.
Oh man, Arthur, what a series, dude! RSG, there's something else. We able to cast these games. We just saw as well. That was another game where TNT they had the lead for a decent amount of that game, almost similar to game one. It was about I think game one was almost up to 17,000. This game was just about 15. So for RSG to show their resilience when they're behind and to recognize they still have a lineup that's able to take it at the later stage, and they proved it.
They did so. It is always very happy to see new faces coming in the rise. And if you look at their names, right, like Roger, Xiao Yu, Xiao Bonbon, they've been in a tier two scene for a while, and it's always good to see these tier two players finally get their breakthrough, and is able to show us that their skill. And when skill meets good teammates and also hard work. The beautiful synergy is actually really sweet to see.
And you can just hear the emotion in his voice as well. Like we've interviewed Xiao Yu before, and we've asked a similar question to one of the players, like just saying you previously you thought you were going to be in Division 2, now you actually have the potential to make it Division 1, and now it's almost guaranteed. And just to hear him be like, we're over the moon, we're just, as a team, they're boot camping, they must be so goddamn happy with their performance. So RSG, they still have some tough opponents. It's not guaranteed yet, but they're going to be 5-0, top of the table. They've got to verse Talon, and they have to verse UDV. So one win guarantees it, but it's still looking pretty likely, pretty goddamn likely.